Stop struggling for silver in Crimson Desert. Today, I'm showing you the 3-step blueprint to go from a broke mercenary to a gold-stacking mogul, including how to print your own gold bars. If you want to get ahead in Crimson Desert, you're going to have to get comfortable with stealing. It's the best mechanic out of the gate to start getting some silver and get your foot in the door. Here's how the system works. Before we get into anything else, you're going to need a mask. No mask, no ability to steal anything. Good news is you can just buy one from the back alley merchant. He's located right here below Hernand Town. Put it on and the crime system unlocks. Now that you have your mask, let's talk about getting away with it. Whenever you steal something, a red circle stretches out around you and a little thief meter pops up in the top right. You have two options: either stay out of sight until that thief meter is gone, or book it to the boundary of the circle without getting caught. Do one of those two things and the crime period is over and you can go back to doing whatever you want. There's basically two ways to steal things in this game, depending on your target. The first is grabbing items in boxes left out in the open. Go ahead and put your mask on, grab your lantern, and when you find your target, hit X. Most of the time you're going to be hiding in a back room or a building for this, so your best bet here is to stay out of sight and wait for that thief meter to run out. The second way is to pickpocket. For this, you're going to use your lantern on people, like wealthy nobles, to see what they're carrying. When you find something you want, bump into them with some force and hit X. This time, instead of letting the thief meter run out, you're going to want to start running. Keep going until you're completely out of that red circle, and the crime will be over and you'll be safe. But a quick tip, before you go pulling off any heists, you may want to drop a quick manual save. If you get sloppy or cornered, the penalties in this game are pretty steep that can instantly wipe out your profits. Drop a save just in case, and then you can always reload if things go sideways. Now that we have the basics down, let's move on to our first target, the Hernand Bank. The first thing we're going to loot is the upstairs safety deposit boxes. If you head into the bank and up the stairs, you'll find a small hallway full of security boxes. Look around to make sure nobody's looking at you, get your mask on, and start grabbing every single safety deposit box you can find. Taking these items is going to trigger the thief meter, but don't panic. Just sit tight right there in the hallway and let the meter completely run down to zero. Once the heat is gone, you can casually stroll right out the front doors of the bank like nothing happened. Head outside, crack open all those boxes, and watch your wallet instantly fill up. For our next target, we're going to stick with the bank but move on to the storage room on the first floor. The only problem is, first you need a key. Fortunately, you don't have to look far. The easiest way to get one is to buy it from the exact same back alley merchant who sold you your mask. Take that key and unlock the restricted storage room. If you do this at night, you have a pretty good shot of nobody walking in on you. Mask up and completely strip the place clean of every security box and piece of loot in sight. Once you're done, sit tight and wait for your thief meter to hit zero before leaving the storage room. Just this bank run alone is going to give you a massive financial jumpstart for the early game, but we are far from done. So up until now, we've only been talking about stacking up silver. That's great and all, but the real prize you want is gold bars. At the bank, these are worth a whopping 500 silver. Just make sure you never sell them to ordinary vendors, because you'll only end up with about 190 to 300 silver tops. They are massively valuable, and I'm about to show you how to get your very first one. Head over to the Lioncrest Manor. If you try to walk through the front doors, the guards are going to instantly shove you right back out. Instead, sneak around to the side of the building, find the open window, and climb your way inside. Sneak down the hallway and head toward the main hearth. There is a gold bar tucked right inside the fireplace. Wait until the nearby NPCs wander off and snatch the bar. As soon as you do, your red search ring is going to flare up. There are way more people walking around this estate than you had to deal with back at the bank, so you need to be careful. Just stay out of sight until the thief meter hits zero and you're completely free to walk away with your prize. Now, of course, one gold bar is not going to be enough, so let's find out how to steal way more of them. The secret? Pickpocketing wealthy nobles. For some reason, they love walking around carrying solid gold bars right in their pockets, and one of the absolute best places to farm them is the Demonis Wildlife Park. One quick word of warning. Depending on where you are in the story, this park can be located deep in enemy territory. Unless you've already conquered and cleared this entire region, you're going to encounter a ton of enemies patrolling the outskirts. There's a fast travel location right outside the gate, but to get there, you'll have to fly over the enemy to avoid a massive fight. Once you make it to the outer perimeter of the wildlife park, pull up to the sidewall, use your force palm high jump, and launch yourself clean over the wall. The beauty of this is that unlike the surrounding area, nobody in this park is going to bother you. All the NPCs inside are completely passive, giving you a perfect safe zone to prepare your heist. Now that we're in the wildlife park, all you do is go from person to person, shining your lantern on everyone you pass. The light reveals an outline of whatever they have in their pockets. Most of them are just carrying basic coin pouches or keys, but keep moving until you see someone with a gold bar. Once you see that outline, you've found your target. When you're ready to make your move, walk directly into them with enough force to physically bump them, and hit X at that exact second. The moment you do, a massive red search circle is going to blow up on your map. Don't hang around, just run. Sprint straight for the edge of that circle, and the second you cross the outer boundary line, you are completely safe. Okay, now that we've mastered thievery, let's move on to some more legitimate ways to make money. Investing. Walk right back into the bank you just robbed to open a personal strongbox. It's going to cost you 100 silver to open up this account, but it's absolutely worth it. And since you just cleared out their security boxes upstairs and downstairs, you're going to have more than enough spare change to cover it. Once your account is open, go ahead and deposit your gold bar. The game is going to give you a few different investment strategies, showing your minimum and maximum percentage ranges right on the screen. How you want to handle this depends entirely on your playstyle. If you just want to sit back, let the money ride, and not worry about constantly watching a timer, go with medium risk. It offers decent returns without the devastating downside of getting wiped out if things go south while you're away. But if you're going to stay on top of the countdown and want the maximum payout possible, toggle that strategy all the way up to high risk. Now, if you're worried about this going sideways, here's the trick. The investment cycle takes a couple days to pay out. Once you lock in your high-risk strategy, feel free to head out, run some side quests, or explore the map. Just make sure you keep a close eye on that timer. When the countdown gets right down to the final hour mark, head back to the teller and drop a manual save in a brand new slot. Once that save is secure, go ahead and let the timer hit 0. Open up your investment history right here on the menu to see your final percentage return for the cycle. Now remember, that high-risk strategy has a massive swing range of anywhere from negative 50% all the way up to positive 55%. If you check your history and you aren't happy with the number the game rolled you, don't sweat it. You can just go ahead and reload your save. Let the clock run out again and the game will roll a completely different number. On my very first try, the system rolled me a decent 17% return. I wasn't satisfied with that, so I reloaded my save, ran it one more time, and it instantly jumped up to a massive 50% profit payout on a single bar. Once you have multiple bars running through this high-risk loop at the same time, your passive income is going to compound, allowing you to grow your wealth exponentially faster without ever risking a single coin. Now that you know how to steal silver and invest gold bars at the bank, let's talk about how to literally print your own money. But first, you're going to need the recipe. Head over to the city of Payloon, the area where you fight Ludwig during Chapter 7. A quick heads up, if you haven't cleared this chapter yet, you need to be extremely cautious heading down here, because the surrounding territory will be crawling with dangerous enemies. From Payloon, look directly south on your map and follow this exact path right here to find a hidden witch's hideout. You'll know you're close when you see these red flowers. Go inside, take a right, and you'll find the blueprint to craft gold bars. The recipe itself is simple. It requires exactly 1 gold apple and 3 gold ore. To get your hands on the ore, you're going to need to mine it. For our first spot, head to this location on the map. There's a convenient fast travel point just to the northwest of it. From there, head down until you see this massive hole in the ground. Drop right in and look for a giant gold rock blocking the cave entrance. Use your force palm to smash it open and head inside. You'll see plenty of gold veins ready to mine, and you can tell they're active because your aiming circle will turn blue instead of red when you point your drill at them. Definitely stick to the drill for this instead of your pickaxe. It actually yields more total ore per vein, and the best part is it auto-loots the items straight into your inventory so you don't have to pick anything up. Next up are the gold apples, which you have to literally shoot off the backs of hedgehogs. For our first location, you'll want to head right here. A quick warning, you will probably have to clear out the enemies in this area first. Once the area is clear, just pace up and down past this retaining wall right here. Look closely at the hedgehogs running around. The ones with a noticeable dot on their back are carrying the apple. Shoot them with an arrow or use your blinding flash and they'll drop it on the ground. Now, a lot of older tutorials will tell you that you need to mask up and get ready to run the second you grab the apple because the game used to consider it stealing. But it looks like recent patches have quietly changed this rule. In all of my recent testing, taking the apples is no longer a crime. You should be able to just shoot the hedgehog, pocket the apple, and walk away completely free and clear without triggering any red search circles. With that out of the way, if you want an even easier spot, head over to this second location. All you need to do here is drop right down into this garden and walk back and forth. You'll see tons of hedgehogs spawning in. This area actually seems to have an even higher concentration of hedgehogs spawning in at once. Just look for the ones with the dots on their backs, shoot them down, and keep stacking your inventory. Once your inventory is loaded up with apples and ore, it's time to start printing that money. To craft the bars, you're going to need to visit a witch. If you've been exploring the world, you can easily use the map's built-in search feature to track down any witch you've already discovered. But if your map is still blank, don't worry. Just head to this exact location right here where I went. Head inside, open the crafting menu, and toggle over to the Craft Abyss Gear tab. Tab over until you see the gold bar recipe, drop your materials, and mass produce as many as you can carry. From here, all that's left to do is take those brand new bars straight back to your high-risk bank account to keep your passive money machine rolling. And that's it! If this guide helped you out, make sure to hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Phoside's Guides.